Good evening and welcome. This is the Marion City Council meeting for Thursday, December 22nd, 2016. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Draper.
Here?
You're here?
Here.
Ms. Etzel.
Present.
Mr. Spinks.
Present.
Mayor Abou-Wasili.
Here.
Mr. Brandt.
Here.
Mr. Nicholson.
Here.
Ms. Pazur.
Here. Come on, Nick.
Okay. Thank you, Paul. Okay.
Make this quick.
At this time, we have our moment of silence. Thank you. First on the agenda this evening is a presentation from the Marion Fire Department. Welcome, Chief.
Members of the council, better. I don't know, I think we're having some technical difficulty here with the screen, but we'll get through this anyway. Thank you for having me tonight. This is kind of out of the ordinary for us. I don't think we've ever done it before, but I wanted to bring to the councils to let you know what our firefighters did 2 weeks ago. This is the kind of thing that should have made national news, but didn't, because there were other newsworthy items that day and it kind of got skipped over. The next day there was a similar rescue, and it wasn't near as dramatic as the one these guys had. So I just wanted to, Councilman Spinks had asked me about it and asked some questions. And I thought I'll give a short little show on what we did that day. Just to let you know, like I said, it was very extraordinary, and I want them to be recognized. So we had a semi in a pond, and this was on December 8th. But first of all, I just want to tell you a little bit. I don't know if everybody realizes that we don't just fight fires and go on medical calls. We also train in all those areas. And it's tough because we don't always go on those calls. So when we do go on those calls, it might have been a while since we've practiced. Hence what happened the day the semi went in the water. And yet our guys knew exactly what to do and did it with precision, accuracy, and saved the man's life. So I just want to remind you, we do a lot more than just medicals and fires. We save lives, almost every day. Heart attacks, strokes. We get them to the hospital, car accidents. We also lose lives. We may not get there soon enough. The damage to their heart may have been too bad that we couldn't fix it. So we lose lives too, but we rescue lives too. And it's been rare, but we've had some unique rescues in the last 7 years, but we've only had really 4 that really stood out. We had a trench rescue where we saved the man in Delaware County. There were no other trench rescue teams in the area, so our team went up and assisted their fire departments. We had a building collapse at Donnelly Park. The building fell on top of a couple guys, and we got them out. Both of them were saved. We had a barn collapse at Blackford Farms, and we may not have had to save people, but we had to save some cattle. So we did do some rescue with that. And then we had a water rescue a few years ago during the floods at Linmar, a rope rescue, that actually did make national news. So we don't do it very often. Like I said, too bad this isn't the way it should be, but as you see the semis in the water there, went into the water. The time of call was 10:52. They got on scene 7 minutes later. This was Highway 151 in Jordan's Grove Road. The time of extrication, 11:42. That means that he was in the water for 50 minutes, freezing temperatures. So, yeah. This is what it looked like when they got there. You'll see the entire cab is underwater, so the driver is completely underwater. We think that he had an air pocket in the cab that he was breathing, that he could breathe a little bit. In fact, our first guys will tell you they got on scene and there were people standing around and they said, "Okay, where's the driver?" They pointed to the water. They were hoping he was out already, but not. So that's what it looked like. We had a lot of help there. Public Works employees, Brian Menson and Tom Perzelka, they actually witnessed it. They saw the semi go into the water and then called for our help. So then we arrived first, and then we had all of those agencies helping us out. I have a little bit of a video I can show you. This was taken by one of the Lynn County deputies. They're on top of the truck, and they're trying to cut a hole in the top to get to him. They said when they started cutting, they heard the voice that said, "Help me." So then they knew he was alive. At first, when they went in, they thought they were just going in for a body recovery. I won't have the sound up. Unfortunately, though, the deputy that took this, he stopped filming for a little bit when they got him right out of the red boat is Cedar Rapids Fire Boat Rescue Team, and the yellow is Marion Fire, and the yellow suits are Marion Fire. And then they've got him in the boat now. So as they were pulling it out, this is what it looked like. You'll see in the top of the cab, that's where they cut their hole. Usually when we do extrications and cut people out of vehicles, it's on dry land. So this was kind of interesting. In fact, they were a little nervous. It was so cold, they were nervous about dropping their tools into the water and to the bottom, and that would have really delayed getting him out. So they did a good job. What it looked like as it came out. The interesting thing they told me too, when they first started pulling the truck out, there was a tree about this big around stuck right through the windshield that had just missed the driver. It was interesting. I got to talking to some people afterwards, and I even got some phone calls from some deputies and some other people, and these were some of the comments I got. That we saved that man's life. If it wasn't for Marion Fire, he'd be dead. And Marion Fire did an outstanding job. There were a lot of high-ranking sheriff's deputies came up to tell me that, and they said they just couldn't believe it, what a great job they did. So on the shore, the staff that was on the shore, they're lined up there. Those were all the guys helping out. And as you can see, there's a lot of equipment. Each person in the water has to have ropes tied to them. The boat has to have ropes tied to them. You got to have safety lines. You got to have people on each line to pull them if they start to go under. So you need a lot of people on deck. So I just want to recognize all of them. District Chief Wade Markley, Captain Schlitter, Lieutenant Gilchrist and Lieutenant Ford. They were all kind of the officers on the scene. And then we had firefighter McBurney, firefighter Mannernock, firefighter Madlin, firefighter Zamastil, firefighter Thompson, firefighter High, firefighter Hofstetter, firefighter Little, and firefighter Schalldecker. The 4 that were in the water are standing over here. They did a great job. Firefighter Hoover, firefighter Lammer, firefighter Smith, and firefighter Bruce. And I think they deserve a big round of applause, everyone. Does anyone have any questions for anyone? Or, I know it's the holiday and the last meeting of the year, but I didn't want this to go too much longer. I wanted them recognized as soon as possible, so I drug them in here.
Well,
How were those 4 chosen to go in the water?
First on scene, first ones to get the suits on. Pretty much, wasn't that about it? Yep.
Okay.
They were the first ones there.
Okay.
So they knew time was of the essence, so the first ones in, as soon as they got their safety lines tied onto them, they could get in the water. So.
when I saw them all lining up, I thought it was maybe a coup attempt or something.
We need a new truck.
No, oh, go ahead.
I was going to ask Firefighter Madeline, has your dad ever done this? What a way to indoctrinate you into the Marion Fire Department. But thank you all for all that you do. And I asked the chief the other day about it, and she said, well, I don't know if I want to do this, but I am so glad that you did this and recognize the folks that did this rescue. It was amazing. I mean, it was amazing just to see what was on the TV news, but to see the actual rescue. You guys did an outstanding job. My hat's off to you.
Well, we're glad that you prepared this presentation, organized it, and everyone came. It's very fitting that you do that. A lot of times we hear about all the things that people aren't happy with or things that go wrong, and we need to recognize when things go right. And I know that things go right every day with this department. We're very proud of all of you and the service that you put forth every day to the citizens of Marion, keeping people and their property safe. I'm sure that that guy in the semi was very glad that you guys knew what you were doing and you were on hand. So congratulations to all of you, and we wish you a very happy holiday. Thank you.
And I'd like to thank the council, too, for letting me work with such great people.
Yeah. Thank you.
Great job.
Mm-hmm.
How's the guy doing?
Yeah.
Do you know?
What's he doing?
He got out of the hospital the next day.
Oh, wow.
That's good.
Wow.
John Botkin said I should tell you he didn't know his lake was that deep.
Chief, for once I have nothing wry to say.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
That was great.
You got a wetsuit big enough for
Randy? For Randy?
Okay, we can proceed with the rest of our agenda. We're on to the consent. Oh, I'm sorry. Citizen comments and presentations. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to address the council on any topic? Okay, seeing none, we'll proceed. Consent agenda?
Yes, Your Honor, I have the consent agenda. It involves items 1 through 33, Resolution 25727 to 25751. I move approval. Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda including items 1 through 33, including resolutions numbers 25727 through 25751. Okay, any discussion?
I had a question on number 30 about the cleaning. Will that displace a city employee that does cleaning here now?
No, that's a contract service that we have
Okay.
already. It's
So
just moving to a different contractor.
Okay, so it won't displace an employee then?
No, the only department that has a custodial employee on staff is actually the PD.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
You got the next one.
Other questions on the consent agenda?
No, I came in early enough and got all mine settled, and so
Okay.
I have nothing to say.
Well, that's good news.
Don't clap again.
No other comments or questions? All those in favor of approving the consent agenda as presented, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes.
Yes, Your Honor, this is motion to receive and file TAC report regarding a request for no parking signs on the south side of Bent Creek Drive from Pinehurst Drive to 400 Bent Creek Drive. Sharon Robertson, 515 Bent Creek Drive.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded to approve a motion to receive and file the TAC report regarding a request for no parking signs on the south side of Bent Creek Drive from Pinehurst Drive to 400 Bent Creek Drive. Discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes.
Your Honor, this is a motion to approve resolution number 25752, approving the establishment of a no parking zone on the south side of Brent Creek Drive from Pinehurst Drive to 400 Bent Creek Drive.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 25752, approving the establishment of a no parking zone on the south side of Bent Creek Drive from Pinehurst Drive to 400 Bent Creek Drive. Discussion?
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
the neighborhood was notified of the meeting. I don't know if you want to ask if anybody's here to speak.
Is there anyone here from the neighborhood? Would you like to speak on this topic? Oh, okay. Welcome.
Any
Other discussion?
other complaints from the neighborhood?
No, I've not received any.
Okay.
Okay, we discussed this at length on Tuesday, but nobody else has anything else to say? Okay. All those in favor of the resolution number 25752 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes. Mr. Brent?
Your Honor, I make a motion to approve resolution number 25753, approving a purchase agreement for property located at 573 14th Street in the amount of $68,000. Helen K. Taylor.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 25753, approving the purchase agreement for property located at 573 14th Street in the amount of $68,000. Any discussion?
Dave, do you know if this is did this have to meet the 103% of the bid?
No, I believe this is at the appraised value, and there's no relocation assistance with this one either.
Yeah, okay.
No relocation, you said?
Correct, no relocation.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's just a straight purchase.
Correct.
Okay. Out of the discussion, the questions? All those in favor of resolution number 25753 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no.
No.
We have one no. The motion passes.
Your Honor, I'd like to recommend approval of resolution number 25754, repealing prior urban renewal actions related to the Collins Road East Urban Renewal Area and the Central Corridor Urban Renewal Area, and approving an urban renewal plan amendment for such areas.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 25754, repealing prior urban renewal actions related to the Collins Road East Urban Renewal Area and the Central Corridor Urban Renewal Area, and approving an urban renewal plan amendment for such areas. Discussion. Anything to add to that, Lon?
Did you want me to explain it?
Yeah.
Because it's
that
a
was
very
my
long sentence to really get down to a very simple concept. In December of 2014, the city had two pre-existing urban renewal areas, TIF districts, that we combined into one TIF district. Since then, there's been a Supreme Court decision that could potentially have some negative effects on a combined district, and so our attorney is recommending that we take our one district and combine it back into two. So what this is doing, it's reversing those earlier actions and separating the two districts back apart.
So do we have to name them the same that were incorrect before?
We will be adopting urban renewal plan amendments for each of these. We would have the opportunity to rename them at that point.
Yeah, because one that was way out there was for like corridor type thing.
It was the Collins Road Extension.
Yes.
Collins Road East or Collins Road Extension urban renewal area.
But so we have a chance to fix that, even though
Yes.
they're, all right. At least one small step forward.
Yep.
Other questions or discussion? All those in favor of resolution number 25754, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes.
Your Honor, I move to approve Resolution 25,755, approving urban renewal agreement with Lynn County.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 25755, approving urban renewal agreement with Lynn County. Discussion?
On this, does not really impact the city that much at all with regard to...
No, it's in an
county,
area
right?
that's unincorporated right now. It's just counties have the authority to establish TIF districts just like cities do. It's in our growth area, but not for a long time, and it's to give them permission to establish a district down there in the interim.
Thank you.
Okay, other questions or discussion? All those in favor of resolution number 25755 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes.
Yes, Your Honor, Resolution 25,756, approving the Marion FY 2017 through 2018 and FY 2018 through 2019 strategic plan.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 25756, approving the fiscal year 2017 through 2018 and 2018 through 2019 strategic plan. Discussion? So once this is approved, then we'll come back with more specific benchmarks that the staff would be.
Yeah, the next step will be to take these items down in the blue on the right-hand corner and map out for the council the activities that the staff is proposing to work on to support those activities, along with a calendar for when you would expect to see certain activities and milestones for those.
I think that's going to be very helpful. Okay, other discussion?
I just wonder, would it be helpful to do like a spreadsheet like the engineering does on their projects to show, completions and, when things are happening and all that, something that we could have to...
Yeah, we'll try to make sure that we map it out so that you can just look at it visually, whether we use a Gantt chart or something similar to do that.
Yeah, that helps a lot to see it visually to me.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other discussion or questions, comments? All those in favor of resolution number 25756, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes. We have two mayoral appointments. One is Kathy Wilson to the Historic Preservation Committee. The other is Allison Owen to the Construction Code Review Board. They both came with recommendations from staff, and as I have with all new applicants to boards and commissions, I've met with them, and I am recommending their appointments. So, do you want to make the motion, Joe?
Yes, Your Honor. I make a motion to approve Kathy Wilson to serve for the Historic Preservation Committee, her term to expire 1/1 of 2020, and then for Allison Owens for the Construction Code Review Board, her term to expire on 1/1/2021.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to appoint Kathy Wilson to the Historic Preservation Committee and Allison Owen to the Construction Code Review Board. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the appointments signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes. Discussion time. Start at this end? Okay.
You gonna let me first? Or am I the only one? Well, I hope everybody has a very safe holiday and drive carefully. And there's going to be a nasty storm coming because my joints are killing me today. And go Hawks.
Thank you.
I'd like to also recognize the fire department for what they did. That was awesome. I really appreciate you, Deb, taking the time to get that organized and having them come here. They deserve all of that and then some. So, thank you.
Merry Christmas to all. Thank you to all the staff for the city for this last year. You've done a fantastic job as usual, and look forward to another productive year next year. And Merry Christmas to everyone up here too. That's all.
Yeah, most of you know on my Facebook page that I have this day, I've successfully navigated another trip around the sun.
Happy birthday.
So today is my 65th anniversary, and even Paul said I'm an old man now. So
Birthday, not anniversary, right?
Huh?
Birthday, right?
Birthday, yeah.
You said anniversary.
No, not an anniversary. But
Anniversary of your
and then
birthday.
I wanted to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and how much I've enjoyed working with you this year. This has been an amazing year, and the things that I've seen coming up is going to be another amazing year next year. So, and then recognize, of course, the fire department for that role. That's just amazing. I'm so glad that you did that. So I'm glad that everyone got to see it. And for you guys that are, when we're off celebrating and with family and the PD and the fire department, we'll be thinking about you as you are keeping us safe and protected in the city there. So you guys have a good holiday, every one of you. Yep.
No, I couldn't help but wonder. I noticed our raft is of a size where we might be able to make a wetsuit for Randy out of that. I like to think about things that go on, and when Dan was digging up down there for the roundabout at 7th and 7th, his folks found up on 6th some railroad tracks and ties in there. And I kind of wondered what that was all about, so I began to study a bit, and I'm sorry to take a little time, but we had a trolley that ran from Cedar Rapids 12th Street to Marion and up 6th, because 6th was our main street then, because the county courthouse, the jail, and everything was a bar. Everything was on 6th, so that was our main street. The bridge, I've said before, was on 6th. And you go down 6th today and you make that big turn and McDonald's is here. You used to go straight across the bridge onto the main street of Cedar Rapids. But when that bridge was finally destroyed 2 or 3 times by floods, they built a new sturdy bridge on 7th Avenue, and that's why that big bend is down there on 6th. The first trolleys were on tracks. They were mule drawn. A mule would pull the cars down the railroad tracks into the city of Marion. Took 48 minutes. Cost 18 cents. The cars were 4 foot wide and 10 foot long. And we moved ahead at the turn of the century into the 1980s, and we got steam engines. We still use the tracks. And the steam engines saved a lot of money, although they still carried a donkey on one of the flat cars in the event the steam engine were to break down. They could make the remainder of the trip. Or to go up a steep hill, the steam engine sometimes couldn't pull that. And it wasn't until the 1891 that they began to argue about busing rather than the trolley. But the tracks that we dug up on 6th from 7th Street and 6th were part of the original trolley, and I thought that was kind of interesting to think that we lived in that era. Incidentally, when the steam came in, the fare was dropped to a nickel. They were a lot more reasonable to run than the donkeys. So that's all I have. I wish everybody a Merry Christmas. And if you're so inclined, I'd ask you to remember the true meaning of Christmas as we celebrate with our families and friends. Thank you.
Thank you. For my part, I want to wish Joe a happy birthday.
Thank you.
And Councilwoman Pazur last week, correct?
Yes.
I won't share
Thank you.
your age that you shared with me, but
Happy birthday.
but it was a big one.
Yeah.
So
30.
100.
wish you many more.
I remember it well.
And of course, we have to, for the Reaching Higher recognition this week, we have to recognize the fire department. So please share that with them. And we're very grateful for all of you. I also would like to recognize Chief McHale for reaching higher by choosing Marion, and Marion for choosing him. So I think we've all reached higher with this new addition to our team. So we welcome you and wish you the best and many years of being part of our community here. So thank you. And reminder to everyone that there won't be council office hours at the library this week or next week. And just as we come to the end of the year, I just want to say thank you to everyone. It's hard to believe that it's been a year already, but it's been it's been a whirlwind actually, and it's been very rewarding for me. It's been a great year, big learning experience, and I'm still learning. And we'll thank everyone for their patience and for their cooperation. And sharing your kindness and understanding and allowing me to lead. I've been honored to serve this last year with all the city staff and everyone. We have just a top-notch organization, I think, and everyone here on council I respect very much, and look forward to continuing to work with you as we move forward. As Joe said, there's a lot of great progress, it seems like, in this last year, and what we have coming up is going to be even greater. It's really an exciting time, and I just want to encourage everyone to just reflect a little bit and count our blessings as a community, as individuals. As a community, we have so much, as I say a lot. We have so much to be proud of, so much to be happy about, and we have come so far, and we have so much more potential. And if we just continue to in this new year to resolve to continue giving each other the benefit of the doubt, working together, setting aside our suspicions or hard feelings we have, if we have any, and be happy for each other and our successes, and be kind to each other, treat each other like friends and neighbors as we should. I think we can overcome any obstacles and any challenges we might have. Look forward to this new year with everyone. So if you celebrate Christmas, I wish you a blessed Christmas. If you celebrate any other holiday, happy holiday, and look forward to seeing everyone in the new year. Thank you. Meeting's adjourned.